Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2022 preseason training video for flag football. I apologize for getting this video out so late, but I do want to go over a few things as we head into the new season. There are some questions about where we should spot the ball laterally, and the answer is right down the middle of the field. For flag football in Georgia high school, we will not use hash marks as we're playing on tackle football fields, and the lines aren't always the exact same. So don't worry about moving the ball left and right from one play to the next. Always spot the ball in the middle of the field. Also, as you head to schools that are using turf fields, please make sure the cones or whatever they're using to mark the sidelines are clear and definite if we're not using paint for the sidelines. As far as formations, a reminder, the teams are always responsible for the football. So officials, no need to chase the football on a long incomplete pass. The coaches should be instructing their players on offense to go get the football and bring it back with them. So don't worry about chasing down footballs in flag football. As you can see on the picture here, what the blue line is, there's a cone, and then 1 yard is another cone. So the offense stays behind their cone, and 1 yard apart is the defense behind their cone. As a reminder, encroachment is a dead ball foul in flag football. From an offensive perspective, only one player needs to be on the line of scrimmage, so that'll be your snapper. The rest of the players, we don't really care where they are from a formation perspective. We do care as far as where the ball is received from, the snap is received from. Make sure it's at least 2 yards from the ball is touched. Don't nitpick this. If it's close, let's try to talk to the coaches, talk to the players, get a little more separation there, and be preventive if possible. But if it's egregious, let's get that first time, every time. As a reminder, all players are eligible, including the snapper. Only idea here is the passer cannot throw the ball to theirself. One more thing from a formation perspective, there is no limit on when and how many the defense can rush. So defense can rush as many players as they want to from wherever they want to, as long as they are behind their cone, behind their defensive line of scrimmage. On punt plays, reminder on punt plays that the offense has to declare if they're going to punt. That's the whole idea of no quick kicks. They have to tell everybody, especially the referee. The referee will make that announcement. It's 4th down and 12, or 4th down. The line to gain is the 40. The offense elects to kick. Once the ball is snapped on a punt, we want the ball to be kicked immediately. Again, let's make sure the punter has a second to get her feet, get the grip, and punt the ball. But we need that ball kicked pretty quickly. Don't let the kicker hold that ball and run the clock out. Both teams have to stay behind their line of scrimmage. So here you can see in the picture, the kicking team is behind the blue line. That's perfect. And then even after the snap, the defense is not rushing. So neither team can go beyond their line of scrimmage until the ball is kicked. Now, the defense can't stay there and jump up and down behind their cone trying to block the kick. That's fine. But again, they cannot cross their line of scrimmage. Similar to a normal scrimmage play, on punt plays, there's no specific formation requirements. So the defense can have players wherever they want to. There's no requirement for having 5 on the line of scrimmage. There's none of that. As long as they're behind their cone, they can be wherever they want to. And then same for the offensive formation. The one person on the line of scrimmage suffices as a legal formation. There's no fair catches in flag football, so all the signals that we might think what looks like a fair catch should be ignored. When we do see these signals, although we're going to ignore them, I highly suggest that we talk to the coaches and talk to the players that there's really no need to be giving fair catch signals to ask them to not give them in the future. Why is there no fair catch signals? Well, it's flag football, not tackle. So ideally, we won't have a big old collision down there. So the player has the right to complete the catch. Reminder, when a muff kick hits the ground, it is dead there. So 2 different types of ideas here. One, if the ball is rolling and then it's touched by the receiving team and then hits the ground, the ball is dead there after the touching. Right, the ball's just rolling. After it hits the ground, the ball is still alive. until it's touched somebody, it's muffed somebody, and gone on the ground. Blocking continues to be a point of emphasis. The illegal contact idea, players cannot initiate contact, and that's just pretty much across the board. And so we see the right, I believe it's the right guard, number 10, kind of sticks her leg out there and initiates contact with the defender, and it's a pretty sneaky way, right? We see the defender, the blocker has hands behind the back, all the above, but initiating contact continues to be a point of emphasis. Blocking technique continues to be a concern. Officials, if we don't get this type of aggression out of our game, it will lead to bigger issues as the game continues. So all these contact plays, let's try to get them out of our game as much as we can, as early on as we can. If it's semi close, I have no problem with you preventive officiating and talking to the player and reminding her or the coach kind of the proper blocking techniques. But if we get an obvious one, let's get this blocking technique out of our game first time every time. We do have to have some kind of contact for it to be illegal contact. So for the whole screen blocking concept, all the above. If we don't have any contact, then we have nothing. But let's get these contact plays out of our game. For flag guarding, placing or swinging the hand or arm over the flag belt, placing the ball in possession over the flag belt, lowering the shoulder over the flag belt are all good categories for flag guarding. We see the picture here on the right-hand side, and this is kind of what we want as the runner gets close to a defender, to kind of get the hands up. That way there's clear and obvious ability for the defense to access the flag belt. Now, if we're just running down the sideline and nobody's around us, that's definitely not flag guarding. Okay, so this is all these categories here when the defense is trying to pull their flag. What does she do with her arm, elbow, the football would be our category for flag guarding. Flag guarding in Georgia High School, 10-yard penalty. We're going to replay the down. From a timing perspective, no rule changes here, nothing here with this, but just reminders. The first 19 minutes, the clock's going to run continuously unless we get an injury timeout or a coach's timeout. If we do get a lengthy conversation between a coach, stop the clock, make them burn a timeout. If they don't want to burn timeout and talk about something, then tell the coach we've got to move on. The clock's running. That's fair to the game, and we have to be able to do that. We do have a 1-minute warning as the clock gets down and it stops at the 1-minute mark in the half. That is a 1-minute warning similar to other levels of football where we stop the clock. If they want to use it as a timeout, they can go to their sidelines. If they want to keep playing, we're going to line up and keep playing. But the game clock on 1-minute warnings, the game clock will start on the snap coming out of the 1-minute warning. When we get under 1 minute, tackle football rules apply. So the clock will stop for first downs, out of bounds, incomplete passes, those the safeties, the touchdowns, the clock will stop. Just like tackle football for first downs, it depends on the previous play where the previous play ends inbounds or out of bounds. For first downs, will let us know if we start on the ready for play or on the snap. Overtime mechanics. This is the big rule change for overtime. We had a lot of games last year that went into 4, 5. I even heard an 8 overtime football game, and we're going to try to still have a winner. Okay, so to be clear, all games must have a winner. The first game of the season, the state championship, anywhere in between, we have to have a winner. So we will use overtime in Georgia High School for flag football. The goal here is, and similar to other levels of football, trying to get that winner in a little quicker of a pace. We don't want to have a whole other ball game worth of overtime that's not fair to the student athletes. That puts them at risk as well. And so here's our brief review of overtime. First overtime will start at the 10-yard line. The second starts at the 5-yard line. And the third overtime starts at their choice of their try line. And so again, both teams get access, get a possession. Once the defense gets the football, possess the football, and overtime that play is over. But here we can try to get that winner, but also be able to keep up with the pace of play and decide a winner in a timely manner. Mechanics. I'm not going to go through that on this video. There's already a previously published video, a 3-person flag football mechanics video, and that's on the Georgia High School Football Training YouTube channel. It's a couple years old, but it's still all the mechanics are still relevant to the upcoming 2022 season. So I challenge you to refresh your memory on 3-person flag football mechanics. A reminder: we'll use 3-person. We'll use a referee, a line judge, and a back judge for all regular season football games. Once we get into the playoffs, we'll use a 4-person officiating crew. When we get towards the playoffs, we'll publish another video that walks us through the 4-person mechanics. But for today, at least, I turn you to the 3-person flag football mechanics video, again on the YouTube channel, GHSA Football Training. That's all I got for you today. Good luck this season. I appreciate the officiating community. I know that it's going to continue to improve in the flag football world. We've had way more success this year than we did last year and the year before, so the sport continues to grow. Hopefully the play will continue to get better, and I know the officiating will continue to get better. So continue to use all the great officiating philosophies that we have, the preventive officiating, talking to players when we can, and then obviously enforcing the rules where we have to as well. But as we head into the new season, good luck.